1, 2, 3, 4. evening. Welcome to Penarth Cricket Club in this exciting midweek fixture, the last of the year between the Fighting Penguins of Penarth and the St. Fagans. Nothing to play for in this game, unfortunately, with St. Fagans and Penarth both mid-table this year. Greg Cross is here, captain this evening, and has already forgotten to take the bails out. And because everyone has borrowed all the balls, we're playing with the junior ball this evening. Newton middle was St. Fagans won the toss, came down ahead, and they chose to bat first. Report from the middle is a very green wicket, marked as Sunday, but that's fine. We just await the St. Fagans openers. Late change to the team today. Adam Akhtar has come in to replace Sticky Anderton. So that's a change to the advertised programme. We are hoping that Dicky will be joining us later for a bit of co-commentary. The opening batsman Jack Griffiths and Benji Malachi are making their way out to the middle with the two umpires. We will be bowling 10 overs straight from the athletic ground end, and it looks as Nathaniel Randall who will be taking the first over. And it's actually Benji Malachi changing the first ball. Jack Griffiths, the non-striker. And it is Nat to open the bowling on this now slightly gloomy, overcast evening. It's been a beautiful day. And as soon as we go to play cricket, this happens. Oh, Tom Parkinson walking around with the dog. So in comes Nat with the train action. And we start with a dot ball. To all our viewers on holiday, I hope you're having a lovely time, especially on the all-inclusives. Don't forget to bring back sweets, chocolates, and no diseases. As Nat comes in for his second ball, a little bit short, and that's been tucked away, hooked off, off the chair for 4 runs. Evening, Mr. Parkinson and Mr. Jacob, as they walk past the scorer's box there. I've never seen that dog before with Tom. It's almost a horse by his size. Must be dog sitting. comes in for his third ball. A little bit fuller, just guided down to the third man region. A bit of confusion between the two fielders there, and I think they are going to come back for a third run there. It's the 3 runs. Move St. Fagans Midweek onto 7 without loss of 3 balls. In comes that distinctive train chugging action. Ball just played away there, no run. Again, it's 2 dot balls in a row there for Nats. He now seems to have settled into a line in length. And his final ball. And that's a leave there by Benji. So that is 7 off the... No, it's a wide. I take that back. Yeah. Lost the umpire behind the non-striking batsman, all in blue. And this is the final ball. And just played away. No run. Ends the first over. St. Fagans 8 without loss. We'll wait to see who will be bowling the second over. It's time for me, Jen, because of looks like a change of bowler, and the new bowler, well, it has to be a change of bowler, obviously, is Adam Akhtar. Nice start there. Got ball, a little bit fuller than Nat. Little slingy on the action, but haven't seen Adam bowl for a season or 2 now, so it's good to see him re-pick it up as he prepares to come in for ball number 2. Again, a little bit down the leg side there. This could be a wide +4. I'm just waiting for the umpire's signal, and there it is. It's a wide +4. I did say he was slingy. As Adam comes in for ball number 2. Let's see if he can get it onto the stumps this time. No, a little bit down the leg side and full treatment there. 4 runs. Hope you saw that. And that's Benji now on to 11 off 5 balls. And a very quick start here for St. Fagans. I'm delighted to be joined on the webcast by Mr. Ian Cross. Crossy, out of the 24 ducks I hid in your house the other week, how many you actually found so far?
18.
That's not a bad start. I honestly thought that you would struggle I thought you get to 15, and then I thought the difficulty level will be ramped. So 18 is a good start. You got till the end of the year. Short again, and that's exactly the same result. Another 4 runs, and Benji has quickly moved on to 15, and St. Fagans on to 21 of just 1.3 overs. A little bit of St. Fagans ball being played here. So I believe you're off on holiday again soon. Anywhere nice?
Sweden.
Yeah, that very famous holiday destination, Sweden. Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. I know, said earlier. I know we have a few viewers away. If you could send us your destinations where you are, that would be lovely. As Adam comes in now for his 4th ball, let's see what happens here. That's a better line, just played away there for just a single this time. And that moves Benji Malachi onto 16 off 7 balls. Well, that's what it looks like. Well, yeah. You say that. I say another way, isn't it? I'm getting lessons in pronunciation here. Bet you this doesn't happen in Test match cricket. They probably do research, though. Oh, that's going to be another wide. Yep, another wide down the leg side there by Adam. So notice the slightly slingy action. Keeping wicket today is Tim Webber. Nick Hartley in slip. Nick obviously part of the first team with the heroic victory in Port Talbot on Saturday, where at one stage actually down to 9 players or 9 fit first team players, and having to call on a 50-year-old and a slightly older 50-year-old. Yeah. But win by 97 runs, and I've just started walking yesterday. Fun times, though. Fun times. Something to say when I get to the OAP home next year. Adam comes in for still ball 5, believe it or not. That might be a wide. Yes, it is a wide. We may get out of this over by about 10 o'clock this evening. Hopefully the film I want to watch is still on Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, so Sean O'Sullivan is watching. If he could come and turn the floodlights on, that would be marvellous. The umpires will be supplied by the batting team. I have no idea. Mr. Cross asking me questions that I haven't literally. Oh, and he's just been stoked there, but at least it's a dot ball. As we're now 1.5 overs with St. Fagans on 25. Ooh. As hopefully Adam comes in to bowl his last ball. Let's see what happens here. And it's a dot ball. So that is the end of the 2nd over. St. Fagans currently 25 without loss. Benji can't pronounce surname on 16. And Jack Griffiths yet to score. Still Benji on strike, and it's a Nat Randall to come in for a 2nd over. into a second ball. Let's see if Mr. Cross notices the train action with the right hand. There you go. Chug, 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 chug. Bowl. Oh! I don't know. That we'll find out now. Big chance that goes down there. Big, big chance. That comes into, we're not 100% sure. Solid push up the ground there. Should be two. So, yeah, nice, easy, straightforward two there. And that comes in down the hill. That's a beautiful shot. That's going to race away through the covers for 4 runs. And that comes in for his 4th delivery. Ball up in the air. It's in the air, but it falls between the gap. And there should be 2 runs here. Yeah. Just 2. And that's just preparing for the final ball of the over. And he comes. A little advance, but just a push into cover, no run. To end the 3rd over, St. Fagans at 35 without loss, but there was a big chance there in that over which we just couldn't take. Will Adam be returning for his 2nd over? Yep, number 4. Adam starts at 2nd over, 17 off the 1st over. Let's see if he can improve. A little advance and a swipe. And it's a wide ball. It's going to be signal wide +1, wide +2, wide +4. Greg's got a new bat, and it looks like he's going to have to be using it a lot. It's a very, very fast outfield here. Very dry. So Adam comes in. That is a no ball this time. What's a chance here for Raj? Way over his head. That is 6 runs. The umpire doesn't know, but I'm here. I can completely tell him that's a 6. I think that deserves a little bit of minions there. So that's one legal delivery so far. 12 runs off the over as Adam comes in for ball 2. It's much. Oh, no, it's a wide. Funny feeling we might have test match wides going on here. Let's see Adam to settle in. He's not bowled for a few years that I've seen, but he was a very promising bowler in his youth, so he's definitely got it in the locker. So he just runs it down to third man, unfortunately, past the fielder, and 4 more runs. That puts Benji up to 27 off 12 balls as Tom and Jacob continue to walk around the boundary doing loops. They have yet gone to Purcell shops to get me a beer. And there is the first wicket of the day. Benji has been bowled by Adam for a very quick 31 off 13 balls. And that should bring Aaron Carter to the crease. Bear with us, I'll just go off mic because Tom Parkinson is asking me very awkward questions which have nothing to do with the game. Bear with. The incoming batsman is Aaron Carter. And ladies and gentlemen, the dog mystery has been solved. It's Tom's brother's dog, Betsy. As I said before, it definitely looks more like a horse on Parky than a dog. Adam comes in. And that's another wide. Now, from our angle here, yeah. Very non-midweek, I think, is the, yeah. As long as it's the same for both sides. As I said before, unfortunately, we are playing with a one-size-down ball, so that probably isn't helping the course as he comes in. That's definitely off the bat. Actually was well fielded in the end by Nat. It's for a second it looked like it was in the air, but dropped a little bit short. They did well just to gather it in the end. So at the end of the 4th over, St. Fagans of 57 for just the one wicket. It's a change of bowler, and Raj will be coming into the attack. A little bit of left arm. As Raj comes in for his first ball. Nice and full, just played up the ground. Oh, they're going to push in a single there, and they've managed to take a single. Jack, very quick between the old wickets there. Raj comes into his third ball, just 2 singles off the over so far. Again, right on the money, and then not taking a sit. Oh, he's run him out. Has he run him out? No, he hasn't run him out. He hasn't given it. But yeah, that was a very strange incident there. Just a push down the ground. Raj couldn't quite field it, but pushed the ball in direction of the stumps, took the bails off, and for a minute there, we didn't know where the non-striking batsman was, but the umpire did. And lucky for him, he was in his ground. Raj comes in. There's a full swing of the bat there. That is going to race away through mid-wicket, as even the umpire has signalled 4 before you've got 2/3 of the way there. To be fair, I'd press the button as well. Raj comes in again. Little advance down the ground, trying to whip. There's a huge LBW appeal there. Let's see what happens here. The umpire's actually given a leg bye. He has given a leg bye. To be fair to the umpire there, he was quite a long way down the wicket, so probably a difficult decision to give. Without Ultra Edge VAR 3, umpires looking in 50,000 people on Twitter making a decision. Swartz comes in, final ball of his first over. I spoke too soon, so wide down the leg side. So he'll have to re-bowl that one. And the answer to the Ian Cross question, does Nick Hartley bowl, is no. He did try in the rugby game, bowled 2 overs. That could be quite entertaining. Raj comes in for hopefully his final ball. Again, pitched right up there. And no run off that final ball of the over. Fagans get to a quarter away there. 65 for 1. Yeah. Scoring rate of 13 runs and over. So already quite a challenging total being set. As it looks as though that is that young Crush? That looks like Crush, because Adam's got the most inappropriate cricket number on his back. As the helmet is being called for. That's for the wicket keeper, not for any close fielders. So is obviously Chris, the fourth bowler of the evening news so far. Looks like a bit of spin coming into the action. Jack Griffiths is on strike, and I think we're just waiting for the field to set itself. Oh, just stuck in a little pitch there, just punched away, no run. Second ball comes in, a little bit of flight down the wicket, punched in the air. That's unfortunately gone over Greg's head, next to his father's annoyance, as the batsmen come back for 2 more to Jack Griffiths. Moves on to 15 off just 16 deliveries. As we say goodbye to Mr. Cross, who's now going to Dinners Palace for something to eat. Again, advance. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff going on there. There was a bit of a sound, a bit of a stumping, but it's just a dot ball in the book. Quite an exciting start to the over. Let's see if he advances down the track again. Oh, he stays in his crease this time, sets his feet. Big swing of the bat, going up towards the boundary, but I think that's only just going to be 2 runs. A little bit less pace here. They're not obviously generating quite the strength to clear the boundaries it was at the beginning, but let's see how it goes. Again, back in his crease. This time off the back foot, just punches it through. Extra cover just for a single there. Brings Aaron Carter onto strike. It's only faced 4 balls so far for a single. And that's just tapped down to short third man. Just for a single there to finish the 6th over. Fagans now 71 for 1. So the run rate has dropped a little bit now, just to 11.83. Obviously a very fast start given to them by Benji with a quick 31 off 14 balls, which included 5 fours, 1 6. It'll be Raj to continue. Midweek is a 20 over affair where they bowl 10 overs from one end and then 10 overs from the other, just to get the game through just a little bit quicker, especially this time of the year for lights as he bowls the first ball. Just a little dab down there on the outside for a single. Or is it the upside? I can never remember. Good ball there. Raj spotted the batsman advancing down the pitch, just threw it in a little bit fuller, but under the bats, and Tim doing the work behind the stumps there. Raj at the top of his run up. Comes in. Nice and full again. And again, no run. It's great to see some of the Penarth youngsters coming out from the nets. Brothers. Raj comes in for ball number 4. Yeah, nice and full, swing through, doesn't make contact through to the wicket keeper. But another dot ball. Just the one run so far coming off this over. Raj comes in. Connection this time, but straight back to the bowler. It's a very, very good over so far. 5 balls, just the one run coming off it. Very much needed at this point from Penarth. Just need to peg St. Fagans back a little bit. That's in the air. That's over JP's head. That I think is going to run away for 4 runs, and indeed it has. So 4 to finish the over there for Jack Griffiths. Takes him to 22. And off 7 overs, St. Fagans moved on to 76 for the loss of that 1 wicket, which was taken by Adam Akhtar. A little bit of equipment adjustment here. Of course, you can't bowl the ball until the batsman is ready. And we're all set here to go for the next over. Comes in, ball, a little bit of flight, swing through. Oh, it's just a little bit of a misfield there at mid wicket. The Aaron Carter comes back quite easily for the second run. It's great to see a youngster not afraid to give the ball a little bit of flight. Let's see what happens on ball 2. Yeah, a little bit in the air again, just chipped up in the air there, but not enough to take it to mid on. They just take a nice easy single. Expect a big shot is coming in the next ball or 2. See if he'll advance to meet the flight or play it off the back foot. I'm going to think he may advance on at least one of the next 2 balls. As the ball's in there. There is the advance. Back swing through and well fielded there by Nick Hartley out in the deep. They're pushing for 2, and that is 2 runs to Jack Griffiths there. Used his feet well. Didn't overhit it to bring the fielder in cow corner into a play. Just make sure it landed in the gap. Just a single there to mid wicket. So moving the scoreboard on each ball. Just waiting for the perfect time to play the big shot. Sensible batting. A little bit flat. It seemed to bounce. Didn't seem to be as quite high there, but nicely played out by Aaron Carter just for a single. And let's be here now. Just the final ball of the over. Let's see what happens here as the comes in, ball in the air, advances down the pitch, and it's just played straight back to the bowler. Dot ball to finish the over as St. Fagans moved on to 83 for the loss of 1 wicket off 8 overs. Now, so far, what's happened is Penarth overs have given players 2 overs each, and it looks like there is going to be a change of bowling here. Looks like JP Cruz, Berensani is going to come on to bowl. Again, it will be spin. I promised JP I'll bring my kit down so he didn't stand out in whites, and I completely. Sorry, JP. JP this year has been doing a number of roles for the club, including scoring for the ones, twos, as well as playing for the fifths and Sunday team. It's been a welcome addition to the scoring group for sure. As he comes in, left arm round the wicket, almost a double bouncer, but got away with that one. Dot ball to start his first over. Almost on the second bounce again. It's very short, but he's played around the corner for 4 runs. Hi, Nap. JP just needs to pitch the ball up a little bit here. He's got a bit of the attack of the Tom Parkinson's bowling. Oh, talking of Tom, there he is with his balls. That's a better length again. Just played off the legs though, flicked off by Aaron Carter for 2. Down, comes into bowl. It's a better line and length. Do is just play it away well field there at points for no run. A repeat there. But JP seems to have now settled on a line and length. A little shorter this time, but not much Aaron Carter could do with that. Just punched it back to the bowler for no run, and that ends the over. So St. Fagans have moved on to 89 for just that loss of that 1 wicket off 9 overs. It's Tyler to come on for his first sighting of the evening. More spin. So Penarth have definitely taken the pace off the ball here for the last few overs. That's a lot of air, and that is a lot of air to the ball as it sails over the boundary for 6 runs. Again, the Penarth bowlers here just seem to struggle in the first couple of balls of their overs to find their line and length. Hopefully that's the same for Tyler as we wait for the ball to be returned for a second ball. It's great to see many youngsters actually for St. Fagans this evening. As he comes in for a second. A little flatter this time round the corner. There is a fielder there. Oh, a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a stumble, but it's just going to be 2 runs. Good field placement there, I think. Tyler comes in for ball 3. A lot of air again. It's in the arc. It's swung away. And it's caught by Nat Rendell at deep mid wicket there. I think most of the people thought it was going out of the ground, but unfortunately he picked out the fielder who took it on about the 4th juggle. So that moves Tate Fagans for 97-2. And that was Jack Griffiths gone for 33 off 30 balls. Very good midweek innings, not there. Probably feels though he's probably missed out a little bit, but if you pick out the fielder, that's what happens. Or in this case, happened eventually after a bit of a juggle. The new batsman is Joy Mott, who is just taking his guard. Sally comes in. Little full and flatter. And the rarity of a midweek leave. Oh, reverse on the second shot. And I think he's made connection, but just played it straight into the wicketkeeper's pads. Quite an aggressive shot for a second ball. Good to see. Lot of air. Oh, unfortunately, he's plonked it in the air again. This time, though, it's lucky it's fallen in the gap. And just the single there to finish the over as Jai gets himself off the mark. And I wonder if they called the previous one a no ball. The previous delivery was a no ball, and just a single off the final ball there. Aaron Carter, who's moved St. Fagans onto 100 for 2 off the 10th over. And what you'll see now is we completed the 10 overs from one end, so the next 10 overs will be bowled from the compound end. It's JP to continue. There's an appeal for something, but the ball didn't hit anything, didn't hit a pad, and it rolled on the floor. So I'm not quite sure what the appeal was actually for. JP comes in for ball 2. Just pushes it away for a single. run there. Sam Rogers doing a great bit of fielding and cover. And a repeat of the previous ball. JP comes in for ball number 5, a little bit more aggressive there, just pushed out though again, but it's just a single. Just past the outside there, just missing the stumps. Off that final delivery off the over. So that's 2 overs for JP, just the 8 runs off it. The most economical bowler so far is Tyler comes in for his second over. Aaron Carter on strike. A lot of air, just waiting, and he's picked up a wicket there. Raj there with a catch at mid-wicket. So it's Tyler strikes again, 2 players caught. The mini moon ball seems to be doing the job. That was Aaron Carter though, 15 runs off 20 balls, just the 1-4. But again, part of a good platform so far for St. Fagans. 102 now for 3 off 11.1 overs. You should be happy with that. For Will Anthony on to strike. So he prepares himself. Again, moon, swing, and that's beaten Greg Cross, and that has gone to the boundary for 4 runs. I think we mentioned before the field here is absolutely lightning, especially down to this end of the ground with slightly downhill as Tyler comes into bat. Oh, that's just over Raj this time at mid-wicket. So almost strikes again, but just the single. Captain Greg is just getting the ball there. Again, a little bit moon, swing high in the air. Adam Akhtar is underneath it. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get to it, and it's run away for 4 runs. Another semi-decent chance though. That's 1 wicket and two chances in this over. Tyler comes in slightly flatter. Still sliced off the bat this time. It's just going to fall in between the fielders as they go for a second run, and they've managed to make it. So that's 2 off at 2 try. Moves himself on to 8 off 8 balls. Star prepares himself for his final ball of the year. Again, just sliced away into the deep field, just for a nice simple 2 runs. That finishes the 12th over, and Jai's moved himself on to 10. Okay, there seems to be an extra ball in that over, but doesn't matter. It was played out to a dot. And keeping with what's happening so far, that was the end of JP with 2 overs for 8 runs, and Dan Rogers is coming on to bowl. I do have the 2 junior Hartleys to my right hand side, and they have a sandwich bag full of goodies, and the Fox's biscuits do smell very sweet, and it's very tempting, but I'm going to stay away from their sandwiches. It's unfair to take them off kids. Great is carefully setting his field there as Dan comes in for his first ball. That possibly is going to be a wide. It is a wide. And 2 runs as well. So wide +2. Again, the curse of the new bowler's first ball, striking again. It's a better line, maybe not left, but there's some great fielding out there in the deep by, I think that's Crochet, just keeps that down to a single. Hit firmly, but deep mid wicket, got across, got the ball in quickly, just what you need. Stan comes in again. And unfortunately, that's another wide. For anyone watching who knows me, they've now just cracked open the onion hummus. They're about to get thrown out of the score box. It's a very quick single again. The running between the wickets has been very good so far. And that is again another one.
Awesome!
So Dan so far has had 2 legal deliveries. Oh, I've been bought another gift. Oh, this may be a better gift than onion hummus, which is to the right hand side. As Dan comes in for ball 3, as hit away there by Will. I think they're just going to get an easy 2. Again, picking the gaps in the field quite nicely. Between Crochet and Adam out there. And big hit out to deep. Crochet again, good bit of fielding, just keeps it down to a single. Been bought a gift by Dickie Anderton, but I can't get to it yet. It's really exciting. Dan comes in again, dispatched again. Crochet having a lot of work out there at deep mid wicket, but again keeps it restricted just to the single. The St. Fagans move on to 126 for 3. Just one ball left to go in this over. Couple of steps advance, and who would have guessed that it's gone out a little cloth to crochet again this time? Who again just throws it back in for a single. So 13 overs gone there, 127 for 3. 7 overs remaining, and I'm just going to see what's in the Morrison's bag. So apparently I got a gift from the University of Leeds, but the customer was Sophie Anderton. This is amazing. And it's a massive bottle of Japanese Blossom Gin. Happy days. What did I do for that again? Oh, that's right. Yeah, that seems a very, very, very fair swap to me. Then somebody get golf clubs and get a Mahusa bottle of gin. It's called a win to me. Look at that. Do you want some? Or you're too young? You're too young. Yeah. I got a Dr Pepper here. I can have a gin and Dr Pepper and walk home later. Thank you very much, Dickie. Awesome. As Crochet takes a break from fielding, and he's going to come on and bowl. First ball of dots. He looked like he was going to be spin, but it's actually quite a fast shoulder there, and I think that might have caught the batsman by surprise on ball 1, but should be expected now on ball 2. As he comes in. It's a big swing through the arc. And well fielded there by Raj, just for a single. To Will Anthony. St. Fagans are doing here is if they're not picking up ones, or they are picking up ones and twos at ease here, not too many dot balls. It's keeping the scoreboard moving. Current run rate is 9.6. It's been pretty steady after the opening fireworks. This Crochet comes in, and nice and full. Just sliced away. Nick Hartley there on the boundary. Just getting it straight back in, just restricting it to just the single. Crochet comes in. That's going to be a wide, or did he? No, he didn't hit it, so that is a wide. So rebowls the ball. Nice and full. Beats the outside edge. Rare dot ball. Theo and Max whipping their food everywhere. Oh, again. Beating the outside edge. And that ends the over. After 14 overs, St. Fagans 131 for 3. Tambok na 60. Tambok, tambok. Tambok, tambok na 60. As we have a change of umpires. And it is true, Greg Cross has just given Nick Hartley the international sign of warm up to bowl. As Dan comes in for his second over. So I imagine Crochet will be he'll be either replacing Dan after this over or Crochet after his next one, as Dan comes in ball 1. I think that's beat the underside of the edge this time, so it starts off with a dot ball. That's looks as though it's come off the pad. We had the rare sight of somebody watching the game by the look of it whilst walking around on the field. Walking around the field. Yep, that's 2 leg byes. Then comes in, bowls. Swing doesn't quite make a connection. It just squirts onto the leg side. Just for a single. Again, just a little away from Raj there at cover. Couple of chances in the last over as well. Couple was not quite going to hand. I think this is going to be a no ball. Yep. No ball, and I think he signal runs. No ball. Little short. Pulled away. Plenty of protection there. They're on that boundary. Again, just a single. So imagine this will be Dan coming in to bowl his final ball. I think Greg is going to use tonight as an opportunity to give everyone 2 overs. Oh, now they called over with a ball to spare. We've had one over with an extra ball, and now one with a less ball. All works out, I guess. St. Fagans have moved on to 138 for 3 here. 15 overs as Crochet comes in for his second over. Nice and full. Again, just played away. You'll be surprised to hear at the moment for a single. As Jai moves himself on to 16 off 17 balls. Will is on 14 off 14. Partnership is 37 off 25. Just the 2 boundaries. Crochet has now gone around the wicket and beaten the outside edge there for a dot ball. The bail must have blown off there. So he puts it back on. He comes in for ball 3. I don't think you should really be appealing for that from that angle, but we did. And rightfully not given. Could be a wide. Yes, it is. Still a good start to go over here from Crochet. Just the wide so far in the single. 3 balls have gone, or 3 legitimate balls. So I don't think he no way hit that, but that's squirted away. And still Nick needs to go back here, and they run a very fast 3. It's very good running. A little bit of poor field in there, not aware. Actually, I think he's talking to Jacob. Yes, it is your dad. Oh, that's really well placed between extra cover a mid on, and that is rolled down the hill for 4 runs. That's a great placement, great shot. Picked the gap out there beautifully. Pressure comes in for his final ball, beats the outside edge. It's the end of the 16th over. 147 for 3. Run rates are currently 9.2. And this does look as though it's the introduction of young Nick Hartley into the attack. 40's young. When you get to 53, 40's young. So he is young Nick Hartley. Or upper middle aged. Is that better? There we go. The cries of "Come on, Dad" ring out from the boundary edge. I'd imagine here that St. Fagans are probably looking to hopefully score about 190 with 4 overs to go. Nick starts off with a wide, keeping up the tradition. I think it was almost 150 pitches across. That's better. Big swing through the arc though. That should be easily picked up by Crochet out in the deep. Again, just keeping it to a single. Oh, and there's an overthrow. That does bring up the 150 for St. Fagans after 16.1 overs. A little bit of sloppiness there in the field. That is swung through the gap. Oh, that's bounced over his head. It looked for a second that could have been fielded, but unfortunately the bounce took it over the head of the fielder. Can't actually see what it is out there. Might be Adam. Nick comes in. Batsman advances, but Nick did something and batsman just let it go through to the wicketkeeper. And again, down the pitch. And this should just be a single. Fielded by Greg Cross, who just underarms it in to take away any chance of the overthrow. Oh, almost a caught and bowl there, unfortunately. Just couldn't quite hang on. Unlucky Nick. Did a bit of a roll on the pitch as he comes in. Beats the outside edge just over the top of the stumps there for a dot ball. And that ends the over. So after 17 overs, St. Fagans have moved themselves on to 156 for 3. Oh, it was young Crush who was down at the boundary. It bounced over. So yeah, unfortunately, our shortest bowler, our shortest fielder. Chris comes in. Batsman steps up, swings away through to the leg side. just for a single. Frank Will Anthony on strike, 24 of 22 so far. Passes down, pitched up a little bit. Tim there just trying to throw down the stumps from the wicket keeper. Just missed, but looks like he was back. But quick thinking, good thinking. Oh, there's a big appeal there for LBW. Didn't bounce that much and seemed to actually go through the pads. I didn't hear a definitive sound on the pads, but a little bit of lack of bounce there. Miles is again going for the big shots and not connecting. It's a good little tussle here. Comes in again. This time punches it off the back foot. Just for a second. Final ball now with this over. And just starts on the back foot, just pushes it away. Crashing the deep, just underarms it back in. Just restricting that to a single. But again, we seem to have got an extra ball in this one. So again, Nick's coming on to bowl his second over. Will Anthony on strike, scores 160 for 3. Just the 2 overs remaining. So he sends one of his young sons way off the actual second boundary. Wonder if he thinks he's in danger. Nick comes into bowl. And just play down the ground for a second. Brings Joe Moss onto strike. Big swing through the arc. Doesn't connect. Taken by Tim behind the stumps. Definitely can see here that St. Fagans players want to try and get some runs on the board, and they're swinging quite hard. Not quite timing it though. Nick comes in, fires it down pitch. That is in the air. Greg Cross is underneath it, and he has taken the catch. So that is Jai Mort, caught for 23 by Greg Cross off the bowling of Nick Hartley. And that brings Jason Maruatarata onto strike. Just for ease, we'll just call him Jason. And of course, now the new law is obviously the incoming batsman has to face the bowler. So even though they cross, that's no longer a thing. So he'll be facing his first ball from It rejuvenated Nick Hartley after picking up that wicket. Getting plenty of out. Well, that's just pushed into the air there towards point, but just through the gap, just for a single there. For a moment there, I thought there was a couple of fielders in play, but just through the gap again. As Nick comes in, a little shorter, bounce there, and that is swept away for 4 runs. As Will moves himself onto 31 from 29 balls. And this should then be, it might take a while. The ball has gone onto the other pitch, and of course, without a game there, no one wants to field on that boundary. As we wait for the Uber to redeliver the ball back. If it can bring us a pizza at the same time, that would be majestic. Just making his way back to Nick now. Will be bowling his final ball of the second over. Pitched in. And all the batsman can do there is just play it away to point just for a single, fielded by Nat Rendell. And that concludes the over. 19 overs gone. St. Fagans have moved themselves to 167 for 4. And Chris will be bowling the final over. It's 9 bowlers used by Penarth so far this evening. Obviously, Greg has decided not to give himself 2 and kindly donated them to Chris. He comes in for the first ball of the final over. Swing through the arc, hits him on the back leg, no appeal. Good ball. Wonder if seeing an advance yet. Tim is a little bit deep, so it's there. He advanced 1 step. Big shot. He has picked out the gap this time between the fielders, and it's actually a 6. This will face a little bit of a delay here for the ball to be retrieved because it's actually made its way all the way to the far wall. Quite a big shot there. Said 9 bowlers used this evening. Wickets though for Adam, Tyler, and Nick Hartley. Tyler with 2. So we get ready to resume. Goes for the big swing again, but under edge this time. He's going to try to come for a second as the ball comes down to the bowler's end. There's going to be overthrows here. Yep, and they run 3. Brings Jason onto strike. Let's off the back foot there. Just went through a little quicker than he expected. Offered no shots. Through to the wicket keeper. No run. 2 balls remain in this innings. Well, it's just popped in the air. Again, just falling short of any fielder. So just the 1 run there as we finally get to the final ball. I expect that there'll be some sort of advancement and a big swing, and certainly the fielders think so, with a few of them retreating out to the boundary. So the ball comes in, a little bit more air. It is swung. It's just bounced in front of Crashay, who's stopped it there. They're coming back for the second, and they have. Oh, they're going to go for another. That's very, very well run by Jason, actually. As they scamper 3 for 3. And St. Fagans finished their innings on 180 for 4. So yeah, Penarth, when they come out to the bat, will be chasing 181 to win. And we will rejoin shortly when play commences. Should be in about 5 minutes. Okay, and welcome back to Penarth Athletic Club and the innings of Penarth, who are chasing 181 for victory here against St. Fagans. St. Fagans have taken to the field, and we're just waiting for the opening batsman of Penarth. Being told that it is Greg Cross and Nick Hartley. St. Fagans will be bowling first from the compound end. So we're just waiting the batsman and the umpires, and then we'll be back underway. The light is starting to dim here a little bit, so hopefully we can get through the overs quickly before that becomes a factor. As Raj is just walking past. Oh, it's actually Nick Hartley and Crashay who is actually going out to bat, not Greg. So we're just joined by Raj in the commentary box. How did you find the first inning?
It was interesting. I think we started off a little bit tough in the beginning. There was a few big overs from them, and then I thought change of bowlers, first change, we put it back a little. So I think we got a bit sharper in the field.
Yeah, definitely. The start of the overs, start run rate was around about 13, 14, and finally we're chasing 9.1 and over for victory here. It's going to be a tough ask, but the outfield is quick, as we know before. So, and we do have some quality batsmen, as we're just waiting to find out who the opening bowler is. JP has come out to umpire. I got it. And Dylan Jankowski will be opening the bowling. Looks like one of the crop of youngsters that are coming up through St. Fagans. And we're off with the first ball. Crashay is facing. Good line length, and that is the first ball is just smeared down to the boundary for 4 runs. Awesome! So straight off the mark there, the ball was in the slots, and Crashay needs no invitation to crash it away to the boundary. And they're pushing the field back at mid-on and mid-off straight away here. So plenty of gaps for twos if... oh, and he's actually bowled second ball. So that theory goes out of the window. So a good start by Crashay, and then unfortunately perishes next ball. It was a very good ball. That looked like it was quite full and obviously on target. So I'm just getting the expert opinion here from the right.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting that. I think he's ready to wind up again, looking for another big shot. And unfortunately, that wasn't.
No, so not the greatest of starts here to the innings as Penarth 4 for 1, 2 balls gone. That's brought Adam Akhtar to the crease. Adam been playing a lot of twos this year. Let's see how he starts his innings here. See, we need to get on the attack, but obviously not be careless. Adam is capable of big runs. Let's see if he gets himself in first and gives him that base to accelerate. Yeah, their first 4 overs almost went for 80 odd. It was that could be a difference, but we'll find out. We're more than capable as Dylan comes in for his third ball, straight on the mark again there. Adam seems to be just a defensive push back down the wicket as Raj departs the commentary box. Nerdle around the corner, and that's Adam off the mark. A lot of energy here from St. Fagans in the field, a lot of encouragement. As Nick Hartley prepares to face his first ball. Good line and good length, and all they could do there was just play it back into the covers for no run. Flicked off the legs there by Nick. It's definitely going to be a single. Well fielded in the deep, they're not risking the arm, and that's Nick off the mark, off the final ball of the over. Good single. The second over is going to be bowled by Arman Khalik, another of the St. Fagans youngster production line. Looks like to be coming off a similar run up. Different action. It's actually left arm over the wickets. Again, all Nick could do with that is just play it into the covers for no run. Kept a little bit low, but Nick has managed to get it past point this time for a single. Examines the bottom of his bat. Yeah, very little bounce from this end. That was a bit of a characteristic of our innings as well. We welcome Mr. Graverson to the pitch side. He's watching intently with Dickie Anderton. Adams managed to punch it through. It's running away. Is it going to run for 4? Yes, it has. It's run for 4. So that's 4 there to Adam McTighe. A little push, and as we said before, this ground is quite lightning fast, especially down to the scoreboard end. And despite getting a hand on it, just checking how many balls left, and it's 2. The first of them again. Adam just plays it this time. Oh, it's gone through the long barrier, unfortunately, and that's another 4 to Adam. So consecutive boundaries there. It's not the easiest ground to field on. I can just see the ball just take a bobble there and just go through the gap between the inside. Oh, and now we have a dog that wants to play with the ball. dear. Milo the dog doing some fielding. Okay, Alan's final ball of the first over comes in. And Adam just leaves that go safely into the wicketkeeper's gloves. That ends the second over. Penarth of 15 for 1. That's a run rate of 17.5. Requiring 9.2. So steady start. Not the fireworks of the first innings, but as mentioned by Raj earlier, it was fireworks and then brought back really, really well. So slow and steady here. Good. Remember that? No, that obviously doesn't let you eat Milky Ways. Sterling comes in for his first ball of the second over. Just play back to the bowler there by Adam. Sorry, by Nick Hartley. No run. And for those on holiday in the sunny climates, you will have noticed it's quite gloomy here. You're very lucky. Comes in, bowls, ball. It's getting pushed into cover. No run again. So very good start to this over here. 3 balls, 3 dot balls. So either very good bowling or Nick thinks he's playing a test match. Finally, he's managed to push it away for a single. Moves himself onto 3, not out. Brings Adam onto strike. Currently 9 off 6 balls. Push the fielder back at mid on and mid off. Here's Alan just WJ graces it. Back to the bowler there. Good ball, it's good line, good length. Respecting the bowling. Oh. Just a final single off the final ball. So off 3 overs, we've progressed to 17 for just the loss of that early wicket of Krashe, who was bowled by Dylan Jankowski for 4. As Armin Khalid prepares to start a second over, and the sun has actually come out a little bit now. It's a little brightness on the pitch. Again, very good line, very good length being served up here by the bowlers. Not too much for the batsman to tuck into. Little false start there. Again, this is very, very good bowling. Feel it's also very tight in the ring there. Nothing's getting through. Well, there's an aggressive shot by Nick. That's raced away for 4 runs. First rare ball that we've been able to tuck into. There's actually Adam Akhtar there with the 4. And just a punch single. They're not risking the second run. Now has brought Nick Hartley on to strike. A couple of steps down the ground, but all he could do is just play it away again into cover for no runs. Bit of a intent though shown by Nick there in the footwork. Comes in for the final ball. Just punches it off the back foot. You have pushed that fielder back now, so this time it's just going to be a single. And that concludes the 4th over. Penarth moved on now to 23 for that 1 wicket. Looks like a possible change of bowler. Let's message JP and find out. The new bowler is Zane Harris, and looks like the first introduction of a bit of spin. The ball to be retrieved. Not much Nick could do with the first ball there. Just get the sighting of the new bowler. He comes straight in, slightly down the leg side. That's chipped away down the leg side, and that has been kicked over the boundary. That's 4 runs to Nick. Moves himself on to 8. Just straight down the leg side there, and it was just helped by Nick Hartley. The field tried his best to get round, but all he could do was just push it over. It's a little short, but all he could do there was just punch it down the ground for a single. And it's actually no ball. So no ball plus a run. So 29 for 1. And Adam's taken full use of that to help himself to 4 through cow corner. I really should go and tell the umpires though that a no ball in midweek's not a free hit, but the tennis area and was quickly moved himself onto 19 here off 13 balls. Getting ready to face it. Punched down the ground. Well, I got a hand to it, pushed it onto the stumps, but there was no danger there. Nick wasn't backing up too far, and they've just ambled a single. Two balls remain of this over. It's a little bit short. Unfortunately, Nick can catch. Couldn't really cash in though. So final ball of the over. Nick advances. Just a punch down the ground there. Is he going to push for the second on the arm? As the ball comes in, and it's quite comfortable too. And this is what Penarth are going to need to do here. They're going to need to pick up the twos, which is something St. Fagans did really, really well. They were just pushing the ball in the gaps and always keeping the scoreboard moving. As we move on, 36 for that. Just the loss of the one wicket, 36 off 5 overs. The new bowler is Rashid Ali, who's coming into the attack. So again, similar to Penarth, seems to be giving everyone 2 overs here at the start. It's got a little gloomy again. That was pushed up there, just pushed down the ground, just a single. Can't help think that we could do with really pushing the first run quickly and just putting them under a little bit of pressure in the field. Full toss, punched away through the covers, 4 runs to Nick there. Rashid Ali comes in, slightly short, punched away again by Nick Hartley. It's just going to be a single. Talking of quick singles and quick running between the wickets, as we just see Mr. Southwell and Mr. Gravison walk past in camera shot there. Great exponents of turning a 3 into a 1. Well bowled, a bit of bounce egg, just be played away through points just for a single to Adam. Seven off the over so far. Nick sweeps. There's a fielder back there for that again. Just picking up a single. That's a big shot there by Nick. There is a fielder down there. Good pair of hands, and again, just a single. Hit heavily by Adam, but fielder well placed there to prevent the boundary. So we move on to 45 for 1 off 6 overs, requiring still 9.7 and over, which is pretty much where it was at the beginning. So everything on target, shall we say? As we're joined by Dickie Anderson in the scorebox. It's a bit gloomy out there, Dickie. But what's your thoughts of this reply so far?
Bit of cloud cover. Chase this down. About 19.1 overs.
There you go. You heard from the ex-Sunday captain and midweek golden arm. Tales of an expected fan. As Zane Harris comes in for the first ball of his second over. Adams on strike, which can just only just can punch it into the covers for no run. And some of these youngsters from St. Fagans are bowling good line and lengths. Yeah, that's a little bit short though, and Adam has helped himself there, and he's swept that round. That is 4 runs. That can have a little tie dance. Into the 4th ball there, a little short, but Nick could only just turn it there to mid wicket, no run. So we're just preparing for the final ball of the over. Passes down the pitch. There's a big swing. It's in the air. It's over the fielder though, and that is 6 runs. That's a big 6 to Nick, and that looks like Raj there now umpiring instead of JP, who is actually come and join us in the commentary box. Come and take a seat, JP. The St. Fagans have moved on now to 56 for 1 wicket of 7 overs. Still requiring 125 to win in 13 overs. Still, again, it's keeping it at 9.6 and over. So we're there and thereabouts. If we can just carry on going this way, as Rashid Ali is coming into bowl his 2nd over. And JP has handed over the radio for our comms to the umpires, which is very important. So good lad. Rashid comes in. Just played away there, just back with a point, straight to the fielder for no run. JP, 2 overs, 8 runs. Happy with that earlier?
Yeah, could have been better though. The first couple were
Did a good task in pegging them back after the start they got there, as Adam can't do much with the 2nd ball as well. Just pushed it through. But the field in there in the cover region has been pretty good so far. Manages to punch this one down the ground though. Fielder out in the deep, just restricting that to a single as Adam moves himself onto 29 or 23 deliveries. Quite a tight over so far. 3 balls gone, just the single. Boundary would be useful. Oh, that's a very, very good ball. I think Nick went to play that off the back foot. Just got through and left himself in no man's land there with his wickets exposed, but just over the top. Little let off as ball for 4-5. Again, it's a very tempting line that you want to go after, but it's just dipping at the last second. So good bowling. It's the final ball of the over. Nick does swing through the line. It's in the air. It's going to land between 3 fielders, though. Very, very similar to what was happening to us earlier. But bit of a false shot drawn out there from Nick Hartley, but he's got away with it as he moves himself on to 24 off 24 deliveries. And after 8 overs, we have moved ourselves on to 58 for just that loss of Crochet earlier for 4 runs, as we have a change in bowling. Press the button on the side, but I know that's Will Anthony, isn't it? Oh, yeah, so it is. Thank you. Again, following the tradition of bowling 2 overs, Chris Kellard is the new bowler. Little short there. Nick again. Getting a little bit there, just punching it into cover for no runs. Greg Cross is the next batsman in. He's just preparing himself and loosening up on the side as Nick manages to play that way through point just for a single. It's now good having JP because he's a master of the scoreboard. Kellard comes into ball 3, his first over. Push through a little bit quicker with a little bit more air. Adam plays over the top of that for top ball. Comes in, ball in the air. Adam swings. Doesn't make a good connection, and I think that's called a squirt out to mid wicket. Again, no run. 4 balls gone so far. Just a single off it. As St. Fagans have definitely been on the squeeze in the last 2 overs. Just 2 runs off the previous over and just the 1 run off this one so far. So the run rate is now creeping up, unfortunately, as Adam plays and misses, and that just misses the top and middle stump as we reach the end of the 9th over, 59 for 1. Say that run rate, which was 9.2, as a 20 over game, has now shot to 11.1. So a couple of decent overs are required from here. It looks as though it is going to be Rashid Ali to continue. First bowler, I think, to get 3 overs in a row for the evening. Congratulations. Not sure there's a prize for that. Nick Hartley on strike. And he has bowled him. That is Nick Hartley beaten by the turn and bowled for 25. That reduces us now to 59 for 2. But definitely looked like he got beaten in the air. Possibly a little bit of turn outside the outside edge, and looked like that was the top of off from here. JP, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's been coming for a while.
Yeah, the pressure being built up for the last couple of overs, and St. Fang's got their reward for some good bowling there. As Greg Cross strides to the wicket, man capable of runs and in quick time as well. He found his 18th rubber duck, or 17th in the rubber duck, in his kit bag in Port Talbot on Saturday, and apparently they found the 18th of 24 rubber ducks. So just 6 to go for the Crosses before they finish their great duck hunt of 2025. There are some real evil placements of those ducks. Greg is getting ready to face his first ball. Rashid Ali is ready to deliver. And that's very close as well for the first ball. That was zipped through, and looking at the wicket keeper, that couldn't have missed by much. Greg did misjudge one on Saturday. Needs to get his judgment in quite quickly here. Greg with 1G. Rashid comes in. Little shorter. That allows Greg to get his arms through that. Who's, again, just punched it down the ground, but fielders are out deep and set for that, and it's just a single. But he's off strike, and good to make contact. Get your eye in and all that and jazz. Rashid Ali comes in. Adam just off the back foot. All you can do is just play it back. 2 balls left to come in this over. That's a big solid strike by Adam. He's managed to get it, and the bounce has beaten the fielder, and that is 4 runs. Adam moves on to 33 from 29. The much needed boundary there for Penarth. 64 for 2, just the final ball to come with this over. And that's just played away for a single to finish, which means Adam will keep the strike. And at the end of 10 overs, 65 for 2. So 116 required, 10 overs to go. It's going to be a tall order. We've got Chris Barani to come, Nat Rendell, Dan Rogers, Tim Weber, Raji Marwara, Tyler Sadiq, and JP Cruz. Here's Chris Kellogg, though, to roll a second over. The field is just about set. Pretty orthodox looking field. At the moment, mid-on and mid-off are up, though. Adam is on strike. Pushes it through widest point who can't quite field, and it squirts away for a single. Greg advances down the pitch there. He's punched it through. That is running up the ground. Has it got enough pace for 4? And then Raj with his, we're going to give him a tie dance celebration. Never seen an umpire dance so much to signal a 4. 4 to Greg Cross. And now they have pushed mid-on and mid-off back. Just straightens a little bit and straightens Greg up on the crease. A bit of a full toss, but all Greg can do is punch it down, and the fielder is said before he's now pushed themselves back. So that's only a single. Okay, we just finished the 11th over, 73 for 2. Adams moved himself on to 37. Greg is on to 6. JP works at the local subways in Penarth. It's an always go-to place for lunch and sometimes tea. So if you're in the area, that is the place to go for food. Always get the meal deal with Quavers. That's a wide ball. I think that is still Rashid Ali. Yep, they keep going, Rashid, keep going. Rashid is being sung around. The universal scorer's way of going, thank the Lord it is that person. When you're not 100% sure. Greg comes down. Just one hand then just comes off the bat there, so he punches it down the ground. And that is 2 runs. So identifying the youngster there at the deep and taking on the arm, and then quite a comfortable 2 there for Greg. It's something we need to do. When it's almost 12 and over, just pick up those 2s in the boundaries and be there or thereabouts. As Rashid Ali comes in. Greg sets himself up for a sweep, but it's a wide ball. So we're on the 5th ball of the over, but only the 2nd legal delivery as Grego just punches that down to the ground. Adam is coming back. That's well run by Adam, actually running to the danger end. 2 runs there to Grego cross. Moves himself on to 10 off 6. Penarth move on to 80. Still requiring 101 here. The reverse there as he managed to get it through. It's going down the hill. Fielder's after it. He's actually, yep, he's just going to rein it in. Just 2. That's actually 3. Again, well run. Adam coming back to the danger end this time. So 3 legal balls gone so far in this over, but this is actually the 7th delivery. Hope Roger's keeping count. Do that a little bit quicker before Adam can make his mind up there on a shot and just withdraws the bat. Yeah, just a little nudge down there to the short 3rd man region just for a single. Do you know what number you're batting, JP? After 6. That's my favourite batting position as well, after 6. You tend to tell you about the over before. As that ends the 12 overs now gone. 84 for 2. So requiring 97 to win at 12.1. Current run rate is 7, so there is a bit of an acceleration required. Greg and Adam there just looking at the scoreboard, doing the maths. Greg has obviously just graduated. What's the matter? Greg has just graduated from Swansea University, so I'm sure math is not an issue for him. Sports science, by the sound of it, like everyone else does these days. Proud parents. Adam facing the first ball, big swing through the arc. They're going to have to watch the bounce on that when he watches that really well. That ball was sliced out there just for a single. Greg advances. He's gone that straight through the covers. That's a glorious shot. That should run away for 4 runs. And then the dance in Raj. Confirms that with the crab-like 4 signal. Slightly clothy sound there off Greg's new bat. Father drove him all the way down somewhere to the factory, a few hours away, especially made for him. Lucky. But his all back did sound awful, to be fair. Keeper, I'm not too sure, but it came with a back cover. So, must be worth it. Actually saw the process of the piece of wood at the beginning, all the way through the back making. Adam just, again, 4 straight up the boundary as the tie dance umpire comes out again. I'm looking forward to seeing what his signal is for a 6, because if he's going that far sideways for a 4, only just about see him now. It's getting gloomy. As Adam is just beaten there past the outside edge off the last ball of the over. There were 10 runs though off the off that over. Thank you. Jack Griffiths, one of the high scoring batsmen for St. Fagans earlier, comes on now to see what he can do with the ball. Greg Cross is on strike, currently 18 not out of 12 balls. Okay, run the first one quick. Adam is not coming back for the second one, which is probably a wise decision. So just the single off the first ball. Apparently, judging by the field, there's lots of stags in the field. I can't see any. But I do like a stag. Part of the reindeer family is umpire their signals wide ball on the second ball. Greg though, it's actually good running on this one. Greg ran the first one very quickly and turned very quickly, which was enough just to put the field under pressure. JP deserts me again. It is actually quite cold now in the school box. He's going to get a jacket. Not sure what this is going to be. Did Adam actually get a touch on that, or is that going to be a bite? No signal, so must be a run. Graphic. Jack Griffiths comes into ball. Greg down the pitch. That's high in the air. That looks like that is absolutely sailed over, and that is 6 runs. And we figured out what Raj would do for a 6, and it looks more like yoga. And that brings the 100 up in fine style. We now move on to 105 for 2. Jack comes around the wicket now to Greg, see if he shows the same intent. One step down the pitch, and Lord knows what's gone on there. It's an appeal for a stumping, but not out. And in the same fashion as before, we're short of this over. He scored over, so that is 14 overs gone, 105 for 2. Run rate required 12.7. Adams on strike. And Jason is bowling. falls short there for the fielder. Just a single to Adam. Moves him on to 47. 47 off 42 balls for Adam. So wide. Greg looked to play it down the left side, but couldn't get close to it. Umpire duly signals for the wide delivery. It's a little bit fuller. Greg has squirted that out and he's beaten the fielder there. And for another crab dance ball. Thoroughly enjoying the display of umpiring by Raj. These signals. Dickie Anderton, one of our favourite umpires on a Sunday, also a very good exponent of excessive signalling. As Greg slices that one away, is that going to beat the fielder? No, he's actually managed to get a nice full length dive in up there, reels it in just for 2 runs. Greg moves himself on to 31 off 18. Can't see where that one's gone in the dark. Oh no, it's just squirted to the fielder close by. No run. 14.4 overs gone. Make that 14.5. Another dot ball. It's the 8 runs so far off the over. Greg sets himself down the leg side, and that is going to run away. Greg moves on to 35. Penarth move on to 117 for 2. Again, 12.8 required, and there was 12 actually off that over. So, in and around what's required for the last couple of overs. So, it's still a lot of work, but it's definitely a game on here. Adams 47 off 42. And I think Greg might have called for a head torch. I know Crochet is coming out to umpire. Nat Randall has done his square leg umpiring duties. Jack Griffiths comes in to Adam on 47. Just squirts it away to extra cover. No run, but looks as though the fielder might have hurt his hand in the process there. So it's getting a little bit gloomy. So picking the ball up is going to be a little bit tricky. So he squirts that away. This could be his 50. That is running away very, very nicely. And that is indeed the tie dance. And that's 50 runs up for Adam. There we go. His fellow players have just realised on the side of the boundary. 51 off 44 balls. Strike rate of 115.9. Currently doing a steady job here for the Penarth Midweek. Keep it going. Passes down the pitch. I have no idea where that's gone, but they're running. Craig is coming back to the danger end, so wherever it went or wherever it came back from, it's 2 runs. Did you see where that went? Down there is where it went, according to JP. Long on, apparently, is Adam back on strike. Ball comes in. Again, that is gone to long off, just for a single. Brings Greg on to strike. 7 off the over so far. Oh, he's somehow scooped that somewhere. Oh, there we go. Just for a single. It was a drop catch, was it? There we go. Apparently it was a drop catch. All I could see was a red cap. No, it's not out because the umpire hasn't given it out. And that brings to the end. Oh, we've got to 16 overs. 4 overs to go. 24 balls. Require 56. The run rate has just creeped up a little bit from 12. That would be Dylan Janko Jawikowski. Keep up the crab signals. We're enjoying them. So Greg on strike here. First ball. 4 overs to go. 56 runs. 24 balls. Some little adjustments to the field here. Let's see if you can see the ring. The command was to the edge of the ring. There is a ring there. It's marked. And we're ready. Greg is set. In that familiar crouching style. I hear the ball be hit, and JP is going to try and find it. Oh, it squirted down past the third man for 4 runs. And here comes the crab. That's more of a walking crab this time. All right. He has no idea that we're playing Thai dance music as he does it on the stream. All good fun. Our normal commentator is actually on holiday at the moment, as Greg just works that one somewhere for a single. He has a slightly better eyesight than me. Also does great rhubarb and plums. Hopefully he's having a wonderful holiday. It's the Dennets in somewhere in Spain. Adam on strike. Ball hits bat. Ball goes somewhere. They run 2. It is really getting gloomy here in Penarth at the moment. Also a little bit chilly, but Gravison is in shorts as always. Dylan Jahowkowski comes into bowl, and a Makdar on strike. Down the leg side. Signal wide by the umpire. Extra ball and a run on the total. 1, 3, 3, 2. Eight off the over so far. 3 balls to come. Adam advances. You can only dig it out back to the bowler. With the Dennets on holiday, they've deprived us of Luke Dennett playing this evening, last year's Midweek Player of the Year. Multidisciplinary cricketer, involves spin, seam, keep wicket, bat. Fielding could do with a little bit of improvement, but can't have everything in the world as the ball is played to wide. Long on there, 2 runs to Adam Makdar, moves him on to 58 off 50. Again, the ball squirts somewhere deep in the dark, but it's just gone to behind square for a single. And that's that's the end of the over. 17 overs gone, 3 overs left, 45 to win. So that's easy maths for 15 and over. 11 off that one. This looks as though it's Chris Callard to return. Umpire, is that the return of Chris Callard?
Yeah.
This is the return of Chris Callard, just confirmed by the umpire. Adam on strike. Slow ball in the dark there, and that is going to be, going to be a single or a leg by? I think it's a leg by. There, it's the sign for a leg by. He's just robbed him of a run. Brings Greg onto strike, advances down the pitch. That's high in the air. Now, there's going to be a very brave two fielders converging on it. And he's taken an absolute worldie out there in the dark. That's an absolute great catch. Zane Harris out in the deep with a great catch. He was way in the sky, but hung on to it well. That brings Tim Webber to the crease. 44 required. Fortunately, I think might have though, and is in there. Probably needs to get as much as a strike here, but that really is a big dent in the hopes of Penarth this evening. Going along quite nicely, but that is quite an important wicket they've just picked up there. Greg Cross caught by Zane Harris off the bowler and Chris Callard for 41 of 25 bowls. Tim doing some big stretching there. See if he can hit a big ball. It's a very scampered single. But he's off the mark. JP, your thoughts losing that wicket? It's not going to help, really, is it?
Yeah, no, I think Greg was strong.
Adams just squirted. When are they going to press for the two here? They are, and that's a run out, unfortunately. Oops. Tim Webber, run out. Crush. Yes, I think you need to go and pad up. Yeah, as Crush comes out there. Adam did get the single off that, so we have moved on, but Tim has sacrificed wickets in the glory of going for runs. Didn't wait for an umpire's decision. I didn't really need to. But I think Adam's on strike. The batsman cross for that single. Plays back, and all he can just do is just play it back up to the bowler. Again, very good bowling here from some of the St. Fagans bowlers. Good lines, good lengths. Adam advances down the wicket. Could only get one there to long on. And that concludes the over. That's 18 gone. 140 for 4. Two overs to go, so Dylan will obviously be bowling his final fourth over, and I imagine Chris Cullen will be bowling the last one. I think this game has now just got away from Penarth now, unfortunately. 20.5, anything can happen, but especially in the dark, just needs to make some good contacts. Put some pressure back on. And first ball's a dot ball. Two good innings this one. Greg Cross and Adam. Adams just managed to try and get a scoop out. There's all sorts going on there where they don't know where the ball's going back. Just scoops it behind us for a single. It's been a spirited effort, though. I think there's early overs batting by St. Fagans who are going to be proved the difference in this game, as Chris just managed to squirt it into the covers for a single. I'm going to cheer myself up with a tie dance.
Tambok na 60. Tambok na 60.
Dillon comes in. Again, good line and length right up in the block hole. All Adam can do is just, again, push it out just for a single. Moves him on to 63. Two balls to go in this over. Penultimate over. Good connection. There should be two here. Yeah. The final ball of the penultimate over. Looking like we need a sobers to win it. That's punched down the ground just over mid-on. And that's an absolute brilliant throw direct in the wickets. And that is, unfortunately, Adam run out. Zane Harris with a great bit of field in there. That's the final ball of the over, but unfortunately that is Adam finally gone for 63 off 58 balls and 146 for 5. I'm not too sure if the replay will do it justice, but the ball was chipped just over the head of mid-on. Great pickup, great throw, direct hit from about 2/3 in, 2/3 away, out to the boundary, straight in the middle of middle stump. Adam, unfortunately, stranded on the way back. Brings Nat Rendell into the crease. So 35 required, and it is Zane Harris to bolt his third over. Reward there for some good fielding. One great catch, one great run out. And then somebody tell me after it wasn't Zane on the run out. Nat on strike. Picks that up in the gloom, plays it out to deep mid wicket for 2. Five balls to go. 33 required. Required rate 39.6. And a dot ball. It's been a really good game. And to say, I think the difference in the end was those first 5 or 6 overs, where St. Fagans really did get themselves off to a great start and another dot ball. And then losing Greg when we had a little bit of momentum. But all in all, a very good game of cricket here this evening. Snap just managed to squirt a single. Two balls required. So 2 balls to go. Sane comes in. First just tucks it off his leg to deep mid wicket just for a single. So Nat will be facing the final ball of the innings. Hope you've enjoyed this evening's game. Brought to you by Penarth CCTV. The final ball's in. Gone through. And that is a dot ball. That is the end of the over. End of the innings in the match. And it's the St. Fagans midweek win. I don't know why it's saying match draw on Play Cricket. No idea. Override that. St. Fagans win by 30 runs. So as the players make their way off for the obligatory handshakes, huge congratulations to St. Fagans, and that does conclude the midweek season. So thank you to all the players for all their commitments this year, and look forward to returning next year. And we will leave you there with the pondering walk of Mr. Gravison just walking past the commentary position. He is waving. There you go. You can just see him below the cards. As we say goodbye, good night, God bless, and enjoy your holidays if you're away.